Security. I want to go now to MSNBC Capitol Hill correspondent Kelly O'Donnell watching all of this. And Kelly, I want to talk about Paul Ryan, but first you have some breaking news on committee votes that have been delayed. What can you tell us about this apparent boycott?
Hallie, this is one of those days where we could take a Google Earth picture of Capitol Hill and show all the places where news is breaking out. So as Paul Ryan was speaking, which he was making news there, the committee behind me, of course, that's the Jeff Sessions hearing where Democrats are definitely wanting to talk about this. And now we have new news related to Steve Mnuchin, nominee for Treasury, and Tom Price, nominee for Health and Human Services. The Democrats on the relevant committee, that's Senate Finance, have come out and spoken to us and said they are boycotting the markup hearing, which is where those nominations would be considered. That is a very serious move. That means the nominations are stalled, and the reason they contend that in both cases of Steve Mnuchin and Tom Price that they have not been fully truthful with the committee, which of course is a requirement of being a nominee appearing before these hearings. They take an oath. So at this stage, they want to speak to these nominees again. They want to speak to, in Dr. Price's case, who's a member of Congress, the relevant company where there are reports that he got some preferential treatment on a stock purchase. They want to do more investigation. At the same time, they're saying if they can get those answers, if there's an opportunity to do more questioning, then these nominations could conceivably go forward. But also, Senator Debbie Stabenow of Michigan, also a Democrat, said that in other administrations, situations with less on the table as far as questions about a nominee have resulted in withdrawals. So raising the specter of could these findings and the concerns raised by Democrats in some way lead to the withdrawal or the demise of these nominations. Now, we've talked a lot over these weeks about how Republicans have the advantage with numbers, but we're seeing political pressure being brought against two of President Trump's nominees in very important positions. Health and Human Services would be, of course, in charge of revamping Obamacare, repealing, replacing, however Republicans stop to do that. And, of course, Mnuchin, Treasury, a huge job. Now, to give you a sense of how they were describing this, here is Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio.
We're not going to this committee today because we want the committee to regroup, get the information, have these two nominees come back in front of the committee, clarify what they lied about. I would hope they'd apologize for that, and then give us the information that we all need for our states.
And so using the word lie, that is certainly ratcheting things up here on Capitol Hill. And, Hallie, to give you an indication, you must have a quorum to move forward. So we're into sort of the language of Capitol Hill.
Right,
so if Democrats boycott, that is enough to put the brakes on these nominations until they can sort of work this out. Hallie?
Quickly, Kelly, before I let you go back and do more reporting on this, just put this into perspective. How unusual or unexpected is this? And is it really just a political stunt, or do you see it having fallout in a concrete way down the road?
There have been, having covered other confirmation periods, there have been times when nominees have withdrawn if they felt that there was too much political pressure. Now, we've said in many different ways how all things Trump are different than the past history we've seen with more traditional sorts of nominees and more traditional administrations. These issues are the kind of thing that senators who have an advise and consent role take very seriously. If they feel that nominees have not been fully truthful, if they have not been forthcoming, if they've answered questions in error, they want to get to the bottom of that. Now, it will be incumbent on these nominees to provide the answers. There's a burden on them to sort of clear this up. But Democrats do have some power in this, and we're seeing that exercise now. So we may look back and see that this was a moment when things turned, or they may be able to resolve it. But the pressure has been turned up by Democrats today in a way within the rules that they can do that. Hallie?